All right, we live. What's popping, everybody?
Yo, what's up?
I'm,
I'm
I'm here with the man of the hour.
yeah, I'm back by popular demand in the comments.
But nah, yo. We were supposed to have the live ranking today, that discussion where we went through the rankings again as far as A plus A stuff like that to try and figure out exactly where we're gonna place Cracker and Luffy and those guys now after we found out what happened last chapter. But everybody's available, but I want to keep the same group so we can have consistency as far as the rankings. But I guess today it's going to be a quick discussion where we all just talk about whatever is in the chat. Um, I'm put the link in the description, so you can come in for a little bit, but then you can't just stay in because more people want to come in, and we're gonna have this for like 30 minutes. That's the plan. So right now it's 5:29, so 6 o'clock. I'm gonna end it. That's the plan at least. But Ty, they asking for you in the chat, man. You got anything?
Dag, I see it. What's his name? Drew. Wait, is that his name? No.
Fat
Yeah,
Big Drew.
yeah.
Yeah.
He be saying some good stuff sometimes, and I be talking to him in the comments, but
No, yeah.
we don't always get
Drew
to
is yeah.
we don't
Drew
always
is
get to talk.
always
So
good.
if he wants to
Yeah.
come in and talk, we could talk. Because it's like some of the things I can't explain through comments all the time.
Yeah, I would say Drew has been commenting on my videos for a while, and he always drops facts, and I always appreciate that. So thanks for that, man. But Usef, yeah, Usef should be in here.
Who's
Usef should
that?
be up in here.
Because I don't know.
Usef?
It was somebody. Remember that person I was ODing last night?
Who? Oh, nah. Oh, yeah,
He had a name like that. I thought.
Nah, that's not no, no, that's somebody different. That's somebody different. That's somebody different, bro. But nah, they were talking about Zoro over Jack.
Zoro over Jack.
Wait. First, no, first they're talking about Zoro and Law.
Zoro and Law.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole thing with that, I feel like
Wait, it's
uh,
Jennifer again. Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
ability wise, like Hack's devil fruits aside, Zoro is just way stronger than Law or whatever like that. I think he's way more capable, but we can't take that Hack's devil fruit away from Law. So it's like I'm pretty sure Zoro's not gonna be able to like one shot Law and kill him. So at some point, Law's gonna get his devil fruit and is gonna be giving Zoro's problems to where like he could win that fight.
Yeah, I got Law taking Zoro. I think that is gonna be tough for Law at first, but I don't know how Law counters um or how Zoro counters Law's fruit. Um
and and then that fight, it doesn't even have to be as good of a fight as I'm saying. If Oda wants to, he could just make Law cut Zoro in half or something like that, and like joke around with the fight in that way, the way like Zoro's cut in half and he's floating around and he doesn't know what to do and stuff.
Yo, what's up?
what's poppin', bro?
Yo, what's up?
Wait, I hear echo. Is that you, Usef?
No, it was Sanji. He just had the stream on, same with me.
Okay. But now we're talking about Law versus Zoro, and I was saying that Zoro physically, I guess we're saying Zoro physically is much better than Law, but when you think about all that Law went through in Dressrosa, like
Law is
I don't know.
well, as we've seen in Blood and Blood, obviously Law is a technical fighter. Like he's not
Yeah.
tanking a lot of hits, but he's really hard to hit.
Yep.
So, got his room. The question with Zoro's fights are he always one-shots his opponents pretty much because it's a sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
Hit someone, it's pretty much over. So it's just a question of if Zoro can hit Law.
But Law is a capable swordsman as well.
Yeah,
So it's
Zoro,
like, wait, go ahead.
Law was getting hits on Dofi as well, so
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Dofi fodderized Law, and it's like, no. Like, I mean, Law got in, like, we got in counter shocks, he got in injection shots, he got in the gamma knife. Law got in a lot of hits on Dofi.
Yeah, true.
You know.
Dofi only really blocked the cheesy moves from Law.
Yep. That's the only thing blocked was the mess where you could, because if Law had taken his heart out, then the fight would be over.
Yeah, true.
plus Doflamingo knew how to deal with Law's fruit.
Exactly.
I
Doflamingo
see
were like,
the chat saying Zoro Law is slow,
is
but
he?
he can move in his room wherever he wants instantaneously. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, you got instant transmission. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, they're saying that Law, I don't know. Law is slow. Law ain't slow.
Well, if he was slow, that means Dofi would have destroyed him. Destroyed him.
Yeah,
But they have a point.
yeah. I think what people kind of they see with Zoro, right? They see when Zoro attacks, it's like the screen goes black, and it's like Zoro must have trans teleported or some shit. But it's like I think he's a fast.
That's like
Attack.
swordsman in every anime.
Yeah. He attacks really fast, but
Zoro could probably beat Beppo, but at the same time, wasn't Beppo a supernova too?
I
nah,
I
he
think
don't
wasn't.
remember.
He
He
wasn't.
wasn't. All right, but still, Beppo is he's a mink, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen how beast the minks could be. Beppo would probably give Zoro way more of a challenge than Zoro would have a chance of fighting Law. To be honest, probably.
A lot of people sleep on Beppo because we haven't seen much from him, and it's like I don't feel like we should just say Beppo is weak just off the fact. I mean, we haven't seen it.
But this is Zoro.
Wait, say it again.
This is Zoro was talking about.
Who?
Against Zoro against Beppo. Are you serious?
No, I think
But
Zoro would beat Beppo, but I don't think it's gonna be as easy as a lot of people say.
yeah,
They say he's gonna one shot Beppo.
he's not gonna one shot Beppo. Like, what I gotta remember is that so far, even though bounties isn't everything, Luffy and Law bounties are equal. Zoro's Luffy's first mate or whatever, and Beppo is Law's first mate. So while Luffy's the main character and Zoro's probably stronger, he's not that much stronger than Beppo. I'm pretty sure. Like they're like right there next to each other.
They
Beppo is
say
just like lower.
What about Gene Bark? Gene Bark could be first mate.
John Bart, he kind of didn't he get one shotted by that mink, the BB mink.
Did he?
We got
Wait, when did he
slammed.
fight a meme?
Nah, it's definitely Beppo though. The
No,
way
when
that
he fought the mink, when Luffy was getting attacked by the gorilla mink and the ram mink, and John Bart came in and was like, hey, those guys we may have to stop you by force, and then the gorilla mink just grabbed him and slammed him.
Wait, he got one-shotted?
It was weird. He was on the ground the whole time. He never got back up.
But what about in Sabaody? Remember Gene Bark 1v1 one of the pacifista, I'm pretty sure.
Did he?
Yeah. In brute force, they were like fighting. Same with Yarush and a different pacifista.
Let's say he wasn't one shot. He was slammed to the ground. He was slammed to the ground, but it's like he never got up. So it's like then the fight was over before he got up. So it's kind of like, all right.
all right.
It said Zoro is superior to Law in strength, durability, endurance, skill, hockey, and willpower.
I don't
Okay.
think Zoro has better hockey. Zoro and Sanji, they just learned hockey like not too long ago. Somebody said Law's crew was weak and stuff like that. And they're talking about
We
Beppo.
haven't
Like
seen
I
it.
feel
We
like
haven't
with
seen him.
Beppo, he's not weak. It's just something with Beppo. Like what's this guy's name from from White Bear's crew? Flower Vista, to where like they're strong characters, but they haven't gotten a chance to get many highlights. So like a lot of y'all are sleeping on them or whatever like that.
Well, I
Beppo,
mean,
if I'm
Law's
not
crew is, like,
mistaken,
mostly fodder.
if I'm not mistaken about Beppo, wasn't he okay from the Jack assault when everybody else was like really, really, really messed up? Wasn't Beppo okay from it? Not like he was perfectly okay, but he survived.
Yeah, Bappa was chilling for a bit. I mean, I don't know how much he was involved in. I mean, he was fighting them, but he was good. I mean, he was good. I mean, he wasn't as. I mean, they all had bandages though. Bappa did have bandages as well. I don't think that they're
But
gonna
he
be.
was still like, he wasn't like laid out then a week. He was still like up and and about and stuff like that. I think that shows to some of his strength. It's like a lot of these characters, we're not gonna always get to see fights to the death against them or whatever like that. But I think when things like that happen, because check this out, with a Rouge, it might seem like he got OP out of nowhere, but if you think about it, he was taking out the pacifistas before the time skip. So I feel like that little incident where Beppo was okay even after the crazy Jack assault or whatever shows
Yeah,
his strength somehow a bit.
yeah. I don't know what I know why people are saying the Zoro versus Law thing because I think it'd be a good fight. I do, but I think we can't just. Zoro is my favorite character, but I do agree that he gets hyped up a lot. Where people do think that he can actually beat Luffy.
So what about Luffy versus Law?
Luffy versus Law, I got Luffy right now.
Yeah.
I think until Law shows, that's the
You
thing.
don't think like
Because,
he'll outsmart him or anything like that?
no. The first time Luffy fights Law is one shot. The first time they fight is gonna be a one shot. But I think Luffy's gonna learn Law's tendencies, and then he would overpower him. But the first time they fight, I think Law one shots him.
Yeah, me too. I think Law win because look at how many hits Law took from Dofi, and he never died. So I think it would take a lot for
Yeah.
Luffy to KO Law, but I'm pretty sure within that time he could grab Luffy's heart or something like that.
So Luffy would actually be the living dog shit out of Law. You guys are really underestimating Law right now. Because like Law would outsmart Luffy off the bat. And he would like destroy Luffy the first time, the first go around. But that happens to Luffy all the time. Because it takes time for him to kind of figure things out.
See, for me, like the last chapter, I kind of have all the supernovas in the same like tier,
Yeah.
like around the same level. So
Yeah, I mean I think they're around the same level, but I do think that
I think
they're
a certain couple of them are cut above the rest. Like maybe 2 or 3 are above the rest, and the rest of them are definitely like high level.
like I don't think the strongest supernova can one shot the weakest supernova is basically what I'm saying.
they
And
say
what about
Luffy
Bonnie?
knows Law's fruit now. Does he really?
Hey, Luffy takes notes. You never know.
Does he really? Like he's seen some of what Law can do, but did Luffy see that slash against Virgo?
Well, everyone else is Blue no.
Has Luffy
Yeah,
has Luffy seen Mest?
you would think Luffy knows Law fruit, but
Has he
I
seen
can
Mest?
see Law cutting like Luffy's arm off and it's floating around, and Luffy's like, "Huh? What's that?" Like
Wait,
he never seen it before.
wait, did Luffy see Mest? He didn't see that with the when he took his heart, did he?
I don't think so.
So it's like they're saying he's seen Law's fruit, but it's like we we can't just say Luffy's gonna just overpower Law. I don't think it's gonna be that simple. It's
You
a
think Luffy's gonna get the smoker treatment?
possibly,
No
yeah.
way. Nah. If that
Possibly.
happens, a lot of people would.
The thing is though, like Luffy, it's like he loses the first match every time. Like every time. Like Doflamingo had Luffy dead to rights so many times. And it's like uh, he always finds a way the next go around. This ain't Gear 4 one shot slow. I don't think so.
I don't think he'd
Well,
immediately go Gear 4 for Law though.
another reason, like when I put Kid above Luffy, when I put Kid
Are you serious? Go
yeah,
ahead.
what's that? Who making that noise? But like when I put Kid above Luffy, a lot of people they get shocked and stuff like that. But Gear Fourth is strong, but I think y'all overestimate Gear Fourth because even though Law wasn't able to like outpower Dofi or whatever like that, Law was still looking at Luffy's fight. And when Luffy did Gear Fourth, Law wasn't impressed at all. Like he was sitting there talking to what's that guy's name, Candavish? Like yo, he's using up too much of his hockey. That's not
Yeah.
good or whatever like that. Like yeah, he might have gained him some power, but it's too risky or whatever like that.
But the
So
thing is, like, people are questioning Law's durability. Do we know what Law went through that whole day?
yeah, his durability is like I'm not
Do you think
sure if
strength
he's
is
what's
best?
his name. Like I think he could be immortal for all I know. Like all those hits he was taking
That's
or whatever.
he did like Law. He fought Gofi and Fujitora for a bit. He got shot how many times?
Huh.
He got shot. Then he got his arm taken off.
Yep.
For
And on
comparison, Peckham's only got shot like 5 times and he was like out.
and on top of all of that, Law already said. I remember at first he wasn't trying to do too much because Law had already told the rest of the crew that when he uses his fruit, the weaker he gets or whatever like that after a while. So he's trying to not really use his powers at first.
Yeah.
So he
Law
still
is a
did all of
stamina-
that and
stamina
lasted.
problem.
And
Yeah, I
people are
was.
saying, go
No,
ahead.
but even with that stamina problem, he still had amazing stamina though. It's just that that's the way he said his fruit works. So
He
he's the
got rest
strongest.
though. He got rest too.
Yeah, I think Law has like strengthened his stamina like over
Yeah.
the time skip so that he can use room for longer. Because I think before it was a bit more like Gear 4 with Haki, where it would wear down and he would get really tired after like 10 or 5 minutes. But he's definitely strengthened that.
But then it's like but he had room open for a while too, like so Dofi and them can notice.
True.
And I don't know why people think Luffy's gonna one shot Law. I really don't think. I don't know why people think that. They said King Kongan would one shot Dofi.
What I was saying before is that like I don't think Law's gonna be unimpressed for no reason. Like obviously if he's unimpressed, he's not worried
Oh
about
my
Gear
bad,
4.
not a King Kongan. A Kongan is gonna one shot Law. Not even a
No.
King Kongan. Just a
No.
Kongan.
Like
Yo,
the Gear 4th thing, like
yeah.
you know how Vegeta freaked out when Goku went Super Saiyan first and all that stuff like that. Like if
Mhm.
Gear 4th was so amazing, Law would have had that look on his face, like Luffy surpassed me. Like, but he was like, "Yo, that's not good right there." He's using too much hockey. So I don't think Gear 4th is is as strong as y'all making it
Let's
seem
say
like.
Gear 4 has looked unstoppable so far. How can it be overrated?
Yeah, Gear 4 was kind of destroying.
All right.
I've
Well,
only seen it like once, one time and a half.
Even the first time it was used or whatever like that. If it wasn't for that extra 15 minutes for Luffy to brush up and
yeah,
stuff like
that's
that, it
true.
wouldn't have ended good. He would have got
Dofi took
defeated.
all those hits. The Kong gun, the Rhino Snyder, what was the other one? The
Yo,
snake one.
Bazooka.
He took that too. He took the snake joint, and then he still got up. He still got up, and Luffy was out. And then it's like if Luffy didn't have help, he'd have been done. So I mean, once Gear
And
4, that whole limit thing, then
and we know that when people get done, I think they trash like with Kid. So you have to think about that too.
which
He would have been done.
I think the
Yeah.
thing about taking L's is it's if you take consecutive L's with no W's that you're trash.
Yeah, because Sanji is apparently trash right now.
Don't be
Kid is
sleeping on Kid.
Now to
Man.
me, he did good against Judge.
Kid is trash.
You know, Kid is gonna go mad when he gets out of that jail. So
You know what's funny? It's like how many people hated Jack.
one word.
They hated Jack when Jack. They was like, oh man, Jack took an L here. Jack used the gas, and now I feel like it's going back to the point where
See, it's the one word effect.
yeah, now even One World is saying that okay, Jack could be powerful now. He could be the right hand. Like,
So after you've been shit talking him for like 3 months, like now, yeah, sure. I think you've got a little bit of power.
100 Host said Brago, the same goes for Law. Like what? What are we talking about? What goes for Law?
I want to ask everybody in the stream real fast. So, like, how many of y'all really like? I don't think Sanji is weak. I just think he had bad matchups against powerful people.
Yo, you know what's funny? People said Brago. Dofi ran away the entire fight. Dofi only survived that long because he was smarter than Luffy. So how can we say that Law is going to get one-shotted by Luffy?
Yeah, because Law is intelligent. Like,
Law's gonna get speed blitzed.
Do you think Law seeing Gear 4? I'm sure Law is like, okay. Like if Law ever had to face Gear 4, I'm sure he has a counter to it.
Yeah, everyone who's gonna come up against Gear 4 is not gonna expect it.
Yeah, it's like with Cracker. Cracker kind of got caught off guard as well. But I think because Gear 4 is such an amplifier, it's like after you're wrecking this guy like that, you don't expect him to do that and then get that powerful. So it's like I don't think he expected that at all.
Isn't Gear 4th like using Gear 2nd at the same time?
It's like a combination.
It's combination of literally everything.
Yeah.
Haki, Gear 2nd, he can Gear 3rd while in Gear 4th.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it, Rouge?
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts on the Rouge?
I think Rouge is like he has to be top 5.
Top 5 Supernova?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think so.
Fury had him at number 2, I think.
Yeah, I didn't have him at 2. I think I had him at.
I still have a Rouge in the same place.
I'll put him at.
Yeah, I had him at 4.
I had him at 4.
I'll put him at 3.
So what's your top 5? Let me get your top 5.
Well, I
We got-
think
Luffy, then Law, then Rouge, then Kid,
Ooh.
and
Where's Zoro?
then Drake maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
So I have what was it? It was Luffy, Kid, Law, Rouge, and Drake. I still think Kid is the second strongest supernova. He
This
could be
guy's
stronger.
is equal to Sanji.
Oh wow. Kid is on Sanji's level now.
well, I was just about to bring that
Nah.
up. What I said is that like I felt like Sanji just had these fights against powerful people, and so did Kid or whatever like that. So it's not that he's weak or Sanji's weak. They just had these bad matchups with powerful people that they're not ready to beat yet. But I felt like while Kid and Sanji had these bad matchups, Zoro got better matchups, and so did Luffy. So Kid is still stronger than Luffy. Like I feel like Kid is stronger than Luffy. He just got the bad matchups. Like I think Oda's doing that to us on purpose.
It's
To make us think Kid is
No
weak.
way.
There's no way Kid's countering Gear 4.
I'm telling you, look. If
I don't know.
all right, if before the time skip,
What if Haki is magnetic?
But remember
Exactly.
remember Kid had remember Luffy did Gear 3rd, right? And Kid had exactly something just
yeah,
like it.
that big metal fist.
That big metal fist. So it's like, what if Kid can create like a robot, like clone or some shit like that? I don't know. It's
He's
like
gonna build a Gundam.
pretty much. He's gonna build a Gundam. I don't think we. It's like Gear 4. Everybody thinks like, okay, Luffy goes up against this person. He goes Gear 4. He's gonna own them. And it's
The
like,
reason Luffy's so strong is because his devil fruit goes with like physical power, just like a Rouge.
but that could be a problem against someone like Rouge because he kind of takes the damage then transfers it back. You know, so it's like
Yeah, but think how much damage Kaido can take and then put back if he had that.
yeah, I don't think Luffy right now
He
is
fell off a
dealing with-
Sky Island.
Okay,
But-
go on.
No, I think the thing is falling off a Sky Island. I don't know
Yeah.
about that one too much because I feel like pretty much every One Piece character can like fall off. Okay, every strong One Piece character can fall off Sky Island and be okay.
Hey, you guys know that guy Chopper fought in Sky Island?
Yeah, he just like
Apparently he
turned
fell
concrete.
off and survived.
Who?
The guy Chopper fought, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
The swamp guy?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Luffy fell off, he'd be fine.
Well, I mean, he's made of
Well,
rubber.
yeah, but Luffy's made of rubber though. So
That's the thing. It's like we don't know what Kaido's fruit is to make him survive. So it's like, if he,
Alright.
you know,
he probably has his own.
yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like that's not really a feat to me. I think. I mean, it's like it looks impressive, but it's kind. We don't know his powers enough yet to say okay.
Alright, we got a good question from One Vision. If
What's
Kid was to go against Duffy, what do you think the outcome would be?
Luffy over Kid.
See, the thing is, like, we can't.
Well, Kid,
Kid
Like-
would lose.
I'm gonna say, Luffy had Lord's help, so I say like if
Yeah.
Kid had Apu's help or something like that, or one of the other, one of his other alliance helps, that
Yeah, he could probably
would be
do
Dofi too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
if
think-
he was with Apu. No
It
way.
depends. It depends.
Yo,
With
Apu,
Hawkins, he
don't
could do
sleep
it
on
with
Apu.
Hawkins. He could do it with
Yeah,
Hawkins.
with Hopkins or Apu, he could
Yeah,
win.
Hawkins. Yeah, I'm not underrating Apu, but Apu is not on the same level as like Law or Luffy.
He's a
Like,
beast, and you don't really know that or not to say that.
Apu is not. Are you seriously trying to tell me Apu is on the level of Law or Luffy?
He
Well, I mean,
could be.
Apu is like, if you
He
hear it,
actually-
you
alright,
can-
check this
like,
out,
cut it in half.
When Kid made the alliance or whatever like that, him and Kid was about to fight right there. He was like, "Yo, I've been waiting to fight you." Like he's not scared. He's not like it's not he has no superior. Like he don't think they're superior to him in any way. He was ready to fight Kid right there. So I don't think that Kid is like leaps ahead of him or whatever like that. I think that probably Kid has a better fruit or whatever, so he's stronger. But I think he's like right there still. They're all captains. Not all of them, but most of them are.
What is that like? How does this work? Where if you're willing to challenge someone, that means that you're on their level. It doesn't really work like that. Luffy can be confident fighting Kaido, but does that mean they're on the same level?
No, that doesn't mean that Luffy and Kaido's on the same level. But it's like what's the point in like all right, he went there. If he was scared, that plays a part in it though. Okay, of course it doesn't mean that, but it plays a part in it because like if you're scared of somebody or if you think someone's stronger, you're not gonna be willing to fight them like that. For like Kid might think he's stronger, we might think Kid is stronger, but in his head he's like, yo, I've been waiting for this or whatever like that. We could fight, and then Killer tried to break it up or whatever like that. So I don't think he's superior to him in
No,
any
but
type of way.
why did Hawkins try to break it up?
Because they didn't come there for that. Like even here's the thing, like if it wasn't told to us that Aroj did what he did, you would have still had him like you would have thought he was weak still or something like that. So we shouldn't have to wait to Apu does something beast to like put him up there. He's up there.
Wait. So the fact that Killer
We
was
seen
trying
what
to
he
break
did
it up-
to Kizaru already.
So the fact that Killer was trying to break this up kind of indicates that he could see the death symbol above someone's head. Now, if the death symbol was above Kid's head and he was going to lose, then he would definitely break up the fight because he doesn't want Kid to die or anything. But maybe he also saw the death sign above Apu's head, and he
Wait.
thought, maybe we could just make an alliance here.
So do you guys think Kid is a lot stronger than Apu, or?
Definitely, not
I
a
don't
lot
think-
stronger. but
I
way
don't.
stronger.
I think he's a bit stronger, but they're on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
maybe a bit stronger, but I don't think Apu is getting owned, like one-shotted at all. I don't think
He's not getting one-shotted. I don't think any of the supernovas are
Alright.
getting one-shotted. They're not that weak, but they're not on that level.
The thing is, the supernovas is they constantly surprise me. I remember Capone turned into a tank, and I was like, what?
Yeah. And Apu's fruit, that could be really
yeah,
crazy.
we don't really know much about their powers.
Yeah, and a lot of people are
Except
saying
for
that Luffy
Luffy and
is
Law.
Luffy's far and away stronger than all of them.
I don't feel that way because like
Plenty of surprises.
Gear 4, maybe.
I feel
Unless,
like
unless they have a power like Gear 4.
I feel
that
like
we don't
I
know
think
about.
all of them are gonna have something that kind of amplifies them in that way too. I feel like all of them are gonna have that. Like we all think like Zoro has been holding back. So when we see Ashura for the first time, say Zoro destroys an island with Ashura, it's like all
Oh,
right.
he's gonna be in the top 5. He's gonna
Then
put up with it rude.
then it's like all right, Zoro's beating Luffy.
Nah.
But the whole thing with that, like I forgot or whatever that is it is Oshura just one move?
Yeah, it's just a move.
That's what I'm saying. So this is one move, while meanwhile Gear Fourth is like a transformation,
I
and it's
think
a
Ashura's a mode because he did a different move on the Pacifista.
Yeah, it could be. It could have evolved. Where like he can maintain. He could have like an Ashura mode. But like from what we've seen, it seems like it's like a quick thing.
That's what I'm saying. Him having Ashura mode, that's wishful thinking. Like he's just
Really?
gonna have that one move. I'm saying like, he might have moves he can vary and pick from, but at the moment that's the thing that kind of separates them apart. Where Luffy has this whole mode he has,
Yeah.
and while Zoro just has this OP attack. And I don't think that one OP attack, because like I don't think Ashura's gonna defeat Dofi. Like if Luffy King Kongun couldn't do it or whatever.
I mean, right now we
King
can't say
Kong
that.
Well,
did
King
do it.
Kongun did do it though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Right now we can't say Zoro can defeat Dofi with the move because we haven't seen that, and we have seen it with King Kongun. But with King Kongun though, do you think that's hitting everybody? Like because of like he has to go up in the air and come down. Is that hitting everybody?
Nah,
Oh.
that's not hitting everybody.
He's fast in Gear 4 though,
He's
so he
fast, but
could
it's
hit
like,
people that are slower than it.
does he have to
Hold
go
on,
up in
didn't
the
he?
air and blow his hand up again?
Can you do it sideways?
Yeah, but it showed that recently that he didn't have to. Gear 4 he went into it pretty instantly.
Right. Not with the Gear 4, it's for the King Kongun. So it's like it's kind of like with King Kongun, he goes up in the air, he blows into his fist again, and then he comes down. So it's like I don't know. Is that hitting just say it's hitting everyone. I don't. I just say it's hitting
It's not hitting everybody.
everyone. But I mean, according to some people, Gear 4 is
Well,
Do you think
that's tricky because it's probably not hitting everybody, but at the same time, it can't miss everybody.
Right.
You say it can.
Didn't the King
No, it
Kong
can't miss
destroy a town?
everybody.
You said did it what?
Did it destroy a town?
It destroyed Doflamingo.
It
Yeah, and then like
kind of
buildings went up.
yeah, it kind of put a hole in Dressrosa. It seems like. I don't know. I think it's slightly overrated because a lot of people because of Gear 4 they place Luffy at Admiral level now.
You know what I feel like? All right, like what I feel like about Gear Fourth, because like Law wasn't impressed with it, and I'm sure that like Law could deal with Gear Fourth, and I'm sure that Kate could deal with Gear Fourth too. Remember when Vegeta and Trunks fought Cell, and they was trying to go Super Saiyan 2, I think, but they kind of messed up, and they had that brolic muscle Super Saiyan form, and it
Yeah.
wasn't perfected. That's like what Gear Fourth is. I feel like to where like is probably kind of better than what the base form is, but it's not really what he's aiming for. It's not really like the complete thing or whatever like that. So I feel like Gear Fourth is cool, but it's not gonna mess with every single person because it's not even complete yet or whatever. Like it's not perfected. When Luffy perfects it, that's a different story. But right now, I feel like that's just like the brolic Super Saiyan with the muscles, which is not that good like that.
But do
I
you
mean,
think
I,
it's
go
do
ahead.
you think if it hits Law, it's gonna not Law, but if it hits Cracker, it's gonna one shot?
No.
No
Well,
way.
I think
Wait.
by the time he uses it, it would, just because like I feel like even what Luffy did to him, that punch took a lot of Cracker's
Yeah.
HP. I feel like.
See, this is a bit like I don't know if any of you guys have watched or read Ippo, Hajime no Ippo, but like they say that in the show they say that if you take a punch that you weren't ready for, like that you didn't see coming, it's gonna affect you twice as much.
Correct.
So this is the same thing where he didn't have his guard up. He wasn't expecting it. He couldn't like girth his body for it, and it probably did a lot more damage.
I guess one of the things I want to ask as well is with fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on. In the chat they're asking, I meant Zoro is strong, but if you fight it'll end in a draw. What are we talking about? Sanji can fly and is fast, he definitely giving Zoro a hard time. The thing with Sanji and Zoro is that Zoro can attack from range and Sanji can't.
Mm,
So it's like Zoro sends
None
a
of
flying
his,
What,
splash.
none of
Sanji
Sanji fire kicks
No,
consider
it's
flames.
fire.
no.
Mouton shot.
Hmm?
Diablo Mouton shot. You can like, isn't that rain?
No. Mm-mm. He has
Well,
to be
Sanji got
close.
close to Doflamingo
It is
twice.
rain.
He got murked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
back in Fishman Island.
let's say that again.
Fishman
And
Island.
back in Fishman Island, he shot fire down two fishermen below him. With his kicks. I forgot what it was.
Wasn't it Mouton shot? Wait, let me look this up.
Are
I
you talking
swear.
about the
Was
ball
Mutan shot
strategy
with
where he just
range?
It's like Pone de
Mouton
Fear,
shot.
Spectre, I think. Yeah, Spectre. And he did like Gatling with his feet and I shot fire down.
Remember somebody was saying that Zoro would one shot Sanji.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
with the logic there, it's like Zoro can also one shot Luffy.
I think we haven't seen Sanji use armored hockey yet. Like he probably could use it, but we haven't seen any using anything like that. So like he could guard against like if he could use hockey, he could probably guard against Zoro's attacks. But at this point in the manga, it probably would end in Zoro's win.
Well, like
I agree.
what I want to say about that, I feel like Zoro always been stronger, but like Sanji's a lot more powerful than we can see at the moment because he just had bad matchups. Like he had these
For sure.
matchups against like
Yeah.
final arc villains and stuff like that, while Zoro had to fight the second strongest or something like that.
Isn't that like Sanji like shatter rock and then he like dent steel with his kick, so his kicks could possibly break steel at this point. So he's no bitch. He probably breaks Zoro's sword with even ready for a kick.
They're probably matter of fact, you know how like before they used to be like neck and neck. I feel like they're still neck and neck, just that the opponent Zoro's getting and the opponent Sanji's getting is making it seem like
Plus,
Zoro's way ahead of him.
all right, so we've seen Zoro's training like with the hockey and the demon aura of hockey.
Uh-huh.
In house training, like we haven't seen any of Sanji's training in action. Like
True.
those 100 recipes he learned from Ivankov on the island. We've seen any of those yet.
True, but I think Oda's doing that. I think Oda's doing that for a reason or whatever. That like Ivankov is mad strong, and it's probably something to where like those people was like whatever you call them or whatever like that. And I feel like Sanji, he's probably just embarrassed to do those ballet moves and stuff like that. But those are probably like his OP moves.
If Sanji starts doing ballet moves, I drop One Piece.
I noticed this.
We're just saying that Sanji not have a range kick and burning
A
blood.
pirate. He also with Mihawk, a warlord, part of the government. Sanji trained with Ivankov, a part of the Rebel Army. Like all three together.
How did Ivanko get caught?
Nah, Ivankov kind of let himself get caught. I felt like he just wanted to be like the inside of the prison, seeing what's going on in there.
They get inside and hold down.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It makes
You
sense.
seen how tricky escaping was, and Ivankov was like, when I'm ready, I'll leave. Like Ivankov had the power to leave whenever Ivankov wanted. So like I think
But why did Dragon or whoever sets her down there make him go down there? Like hey, go and break out so and so, or maybe he heard about Ace's death or Ace's capture, and was like, you know what, my son Luffy may go to save him, so you want to go down there and meet him there and resistance.
Wait, so you guys talking about Zoro versus Sanji?
No, I'm pretty much talking about like why Ivankov go down to go down. Like
Ivankov kind of been in there for a while and had that whole under like the paradise in there with the like the chilling and stuff, partying.
What was his mission to go down there?
Yeah, but I gotta end this now. I'm not sure when we're gonna have the ranking, and maybe maybe this week, maybe next Sunday. But I appreciate you guys coming through. Yeah.
Can I ask something before we end this?
Wait, sure.
Okay. Because recently I watched the whole Shabody thing, and my question is, when Kid used his magnetic powers, how come Cure was not affected by it? given the fact that he has a metal mask?
What is it? Metal?
There are certain like.
At least his knives are.
I think they made the weapons out of a material that's like not magnetic. Like
Or
a material that's like hard, still hard, like to like block attacks, but like can still like not be affected by or like kid can like choose what he pulls towards him.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think Kid has control over his double fruit to where he can pick what he wants to affect and what he doesn't want to affect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a good explanation.
Could it be also the fact that some meta objects weigh more than the other, so he cannot be. At that point, he wasn't strong enough to.
No. That can't be.
Yeah, someone said maybe Killer or Kid can pinpoint. So it's like
Frankie
you can
was there. Frankie was there as well.
Remember Zoro's swords through the door.
Yeah.
And Kid didn't like know about swords there, so it's probably like either Killer's mask and weapons are made out of like a material that's like non-magnetic to his powers, or something like that.
Someone in the chat said that Zoro's swords were filler.
on that note, we're gonna end this. Like the stream, people.
Yeah, like the stream.
Like the stream. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna have another stream in the future. I'll let you guys know for sure. But I'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.